Okay, so busy morning. You're probably wondering what the hell happened to day 3. Well, let me tell you. So day 3 was a really bad false start. The whole day went amazing. So, while it was going, and then right around 4 o'clock, I was having horrible chest pains and getting lightheaded. And it kind of started to worry me, and then it kind of brought me to my knees. So I drove myself to the ER. Well, I drove myself to like the prompt care or whatever, urgent care, and they were like, yeah, something wrong with you. You got to go to the ER. I was like, great, fantastic. So the ER was like 5 minutes away from the emergency, whatever, urgent care, and did a whole checkup and everything, EKG. They did my x-ray, and they took my blood, checked my blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, there's not really anything wrong. I guess I was just having a panic attack or something, stress. And so they basically just told me what I already needed to know, that you need to change your diet, you need to change your lifestyle, you need to, you're approaching 40, you need to do better. So that's all they told me. And then they were like, oh, by the way, your liver enzymes are 3 times the maximum, so might want to worry about that or fix that. So that was 2-3 weeks ago, and I just haven't brought myself to be able to get and then here and talk about it, I guess. Right after that, we went on vacation, and I've given up drinking. So I just decided I'm not going to drink alcohol anymore. We'll see, 10 years down the line, maybe things will change. Who knows? But it's just no longer important to me. And I used to drink all the time. Every day I would drink 2-3 cans, tall cans of 8 to 10% IPAs. And during the last 3 months of our last pregnancy, my youngest right now is just turned 2 months, so I stopped drinking. And then when we had the baby, I've probably had maybe 6 drinks since then. And then of course I had the ER visit, so it's just not for me anymore. So, but that's why I didn't have a third day here. So I'm gonna say that the past videos that you saw were my false start. I thought about taking them down, but I think it's more honest this way. So I'm gonna leave them up. And I've kind of changed my goals with what I want to do and what I'm trying to change about me, I guess. And let's start today as day 1, right? Yeah, it's not going to line up with my birthday or the new year or line up with the previous videos I did, but I'm going to count today as day 1, first step in the right direction. And I might have more day 1s, I don't know. But I know what I want. And at least now I guess I know where my health is. So prior to going to the ER, I hadn't been to the doctor in 20 years. I literally haven't been to a primary care doctor in 20 years. The last time I went was when I was 18. Because I needed a physical to try out to become a cop. Can you imagine me as a cop? Sheesh. That is crazy. But yeah. Anyway. I've lived so many different lives as so many different characters, and I finally feel like I'm ready to be me, to play me in the Broadway show of life. So, yeah, I was kind of like not sure about getting back on here and doing this, changing the format maybe, and just doing B-roll and talking over it. But I don't think that seems as authentic, to be honest. And the truth is, I want to make these videos, like a big driving factor of this is to just have a backlog of my life for my kids to watch. Maybe one day. So anyway, today is day one. Everything's gone well so far. I got a lot done this morning. Got up pretty early. Got up around like 4:30. Baby got us up. And fed him and then put him back to sleep. Took a shower, got ready, did a lot of work around the house early in the morning, took care of our chickens. We have chickens in the backyard, so they've been fed and watered. All the rest of the animals, cats, the dog. My wife sells bread out of our small farm stand out in front of our house, and she makes and proofs the bread the day before, and then today in the morning I always bake the bread. So I have recently got all of my finances figured out. So I have managed to save in an emergency fund $5,000, and then the rest I'm investing. So I got a 401k, I've got a Roth started. I'm not so sure how I feel about a Roth. I have a regular brokerage account. I get that that's taxable, but it's just more, it allows for more movement, I guess, more flexibility. So I'm kind of trying to figure all that kind of stuff out. I had a lot of high interest debt and a really bad credit score. Well, I guess really bad, not that bad. At one point in time, my credit score was 420. But up until recently, it was about 575 from missed payments or collections or just the previous version of me just being bad with money, not taking care of business. So, anyway, I saved that $5,000. I wanted to apply that $5,000 to pay off my debts. I ended up borrowing money from my parents, and I'm going to pay them back over 18 months in order to pay back the amount. But at least I'm paying my parents back the amount that's going towards actually paying off that debt, as opposed to this, like the same amount. It was like $250 to almost $300 a month in high interest debts that I was paying just to cover the interest on those debts. So went in and took care of, I borrowed some money from my parents to take care of 75% of my debts, and then I used some of my extra money outside the $5,000 of our emergency fund to take care of those debts as well, the remaining debts. So I am technically debt-free, besides our house, which is constantly falling apart, which we need to move, and our car. Not this car, but our family car, which I'm okay with that. Mortgage and family car. And then the only other thing I'm paying monthly for is our phones. So, which is so dumb, right? Like, why just buy phones outright? Why even rent them? I mean, like, we're paying $33, $35 per phone per month. And the moment it gets close to like being paid off, they're like, hey, you want to get another one? Gotta get the upgraded one. So the next process is going to be paying those off. It's like about $1,200. So once those are done, then we're good. The next house, I really would like to have solar and be on a well water. That way we don't have a water bill, and ideally we have a very low or no electric bill. The intention is, and this is going to be a big part of this channel, big part of my life going forward, is deleveraging from this system, right? Where we basically rent our entire life from the system. And I'll get more into that. I don't know if I have too much time for that today. But I just wanted to get on and let you guys know where I am, where I'm at. I'm at 155-ish pounds right now. I've been a little bit lackadaisical since going on vacation and coming back about my diet. But today I'm locked in. So I think the first priority, the goal is to try to get, so I'm 5'8", and I'm right now 155 pounds. I'm probably 20% body fat. I might even be more. And that's not good. So ideally I want to be somewhere between 10 and 15% body fat. I want to see my abs. I've never seen my abs in my entire life. I want to be heavier and stronger and look more muscular, obviously. I think for me, that's probably going to be somewhere around 165, 170 pounds. So that's my goal. If I can get bigger and still not look boxy and stupid, that's great. But the first goal, I think, is to get lean. So as opposed to trying to combine both these goals of getting big and getting jacked and getting lean all at the same time, I think the first thing to do is to get lean, because I've actually done this in the past. I really crunched calories down, didn't eat hardly at all, and I lifted every day. Not heavy, but I was staying active in my lifting every day. So I kind of already know how to approach that. I will say that this time around, I'm going to make sure my protein's high so that we don't end up looking like just a smaller version of myself currently. But I'd like to trim off as much fat as possible, get into a caloric deficit every day, and really get lean. And once I hit a certain percentage of lean, then I'll feel like we've hit that part, hit that goal, and then move on to then gaining muscle, and really focusing on progressive overloading, just getting bigger. So that's where we'll start as far as the physical goes. As far as health goes, I want to make sure that I'm really eating well. It's hard to do when your wife loves to cook, and it's hard to do when you're out and about, you have kids, you gotta go to work, and meal prep and all that kind of stuff. If it were up to me, I would be able to lock in nutrition super easy. I would eat the same exact thing every single day. But that's incredibly boring, and not for me, I would do it every day, but it's annoying to the people that like want to hang out with you and eat stuff, and who enjoy, like, you know, making food and then looking at you like, oh, you like it, and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking of an 80-20, 90-10 rule when it comes to this sort of stuff. So generally speaking, there's probably going to be 3 to 4 meals that my wife will make in a week, and I'm just gonna portion control those, because I don't know what's really in them. I just know they're healthy, right? There's nothing weird about the food that she makes. She makes very great healthy food, but calorically, I don't track I don't know what's in it, and then she doesn't give a shit. So she's not tracking calories on like what goes into food. So as long as the rest of my diet is trackable, I know what's going in it, my protein's in the right spot, my fats are in the right spot, carbs are in the right spot, then I don't really care. So it's, at the end of the day, I want something that's going to be maintainable, right? We're building a lifestyle that is maintainable. So, so yeah, I'm not trying to do protein shakes anymore, protein powders, taking pills. You know, I'd rather get all of my vitamins and nutrients from food, which is pretty achievable, I would say. So yeah, that's the aim. But right now, we're doing a lot of fasting, drinking water, because we're trying to trim down, trying to lose fat. And the only way we lose fat is getting into a caloric deficit. The easiest way to do that, I think, is through intermittent fasting. So if I just don't eat breakfast or have something small, then the dinner meal will be bigger, and then I can kind of supplement with protein and just making sure that my healthy fats are dialed in. So that's health. As far as finances goes, we kind of a little bit touched on that. I'm obsessed with the stock market right now. I've just kind of realized that there is this meta game being played, or that exists outside, but also interweaved into governments and power and just how it all works. You know, I used to be the guy that was like, oh, money's not real. And it's like, yes, paper money isn't real. It represents something. It's not actually backed by anything. But that's the thing, is like, money is not even that valuable when the Federal Reserve is just printing more money. Like, at that point, that's when you want to buy stocks, you want to buy shares, you want to buy into the market. And then when they're having quantitative tightening, that's when you want to have bonds. As far as, like, I'm not a financial planner or anything like that, but it does interest me, and I'm curious about how it functions. And I think that it's something very important to understand, is that we, most of us, belong to a working class. Even if you're making $500,000 a year, if your expenses are still close to $500,000 a year, you are working class. You are a working class citizen, friend. And the point is to not have to work. So much of our identity, me and my wife were talking about this last night, so much of our identity, the reason why she was saying this, she's like, I don't know, you know, when we were kids, like, well, you know, it was like, who do you want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like, I don't really know that we have that for my children, this generation. You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to have? What are they going to inherit? But that proves the point even more, right? Like, we've been propagandized to have a job. Like, what job do you want to do? The wealthiest people in the world don't worry about what job they're going to have. Their existence, they don't have to work for their existence, right? We do. The working people do. So what does that matter? Like, why can't we, wouldn't it be better to, you know, put, you know, $500 a month into your kids' $529, so that by the time that they're 35, they can probably live primarily off of the wealth that was accumulated in the market. It's investing. And it's just an elusive thing that I think people would just get lost. And yeah, why does not all of our birthday money or allowances, why not just put it all into the stock market, man? Compound interest, and by the time you're 35 or 30 or whatever, you don't have to just basically sell yourself, sell your time, sell your health, sell everything in order to buy commodities. I don't know. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately. So yeah. I don't think our purpose in life is to just be worker bees sit behind computers and type, and like, how much do these things what do these things really matter? And at the end of the day, we're always constantly working for somebody else. Most of us are not working for ourselves. And even if we are working for ourselves, like, what does that work mean? Or are we just hustling? You know? I don't know. Something I want to examine more. But yeah, as far as wealth goes, right now my portfolio is in Vanguard for my 401k. I have it spread between a couple different things, and it's been doing pretty good. I don't really look at it that much because it's a 401k. I don't think you're supposed to be trading your 401k. And my Roth is doing pretty well. I think I'm up 1.4% on my Roth IRA, which I did select it's like a combination of ETFs and indexes and single stocks. And then right now on my Play account, which I'm trying to take from $1,000 to $1 million. Let's try to take $1,000 to $100,000, right? And I have it all in Snapchat right now. So I bought it low at $478, and it went up really high, like decently high, I guess. And I was up like $260 some, and then it went down. It's been right around like 130, and then today it went like negative $23. So, but I don't think Snapchat's going anywhere. So my intention is to try to ride Snapchat as far as it goes. And if that means it only goes up about 10 to 20%, that's still a good run for me. And then I'm gonna exit that and then move into something else. Honestly, I might jump into Zillow or Netflix right now. It looks like a really good buy. So we'll see, but I'll keep you updated on that. And then learning Spanish, still working on that every day. Did my time on it today. And that's it. So I'll keep you updated.